Oh, hey, look, it's Alice. Hey, Alice. You remember Phil, and we have a very special guest with us today. Sarah
Hello.
Rose, front of Sarah and the Safe Word, joins us,
Hello.
and we're going to have a very interesting conversation. So,
Wonderful.
I'm not into puff pieces. I'm not much of a interviewer, really. So,
Okay.
we're gonna cut right to the meat of it. What do you think happens to us after we die?
Oh man. I've always been a pretty big believer in reincarnation. I believe that we probably live a different life or multiple lives,
Mm,
afterwards. So yeah, no, I tend to think that you kind of go on and you're something else for a while
that
after
makes a
the
lot of sense. Yeah, that's like I also find like some peace in that. Like what I think's interesting about that idea versus something like heaven is
yeah.
like the reward is like coming to you. Like you better be good now, because like
Right, right,
otherwise
right.
you're gonna miss out. But like reincarnation is like this is the reward. Like
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I grew up pretty staunchly religious. My family was fairly conservative Christian. So
okay.
I had when I was young, I had a really ingrained belief in heaven and could never really get my brain around it. And I think that when I started asking big questions about spirituality,
Mhm.
reincarnation seemed the most comforting to me.
Yeah. If
So,
you, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
oh,
off.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you don't mind me asking, what denomination were you raised? What kind of
I was
Christian?
raised a weird combination of Catholic and Methodist.
Okay.
Yeah, half of my family was very Catholic, and half of my family was very Methodist. So it was still sort of like the very non-reformist side of Christianity,
Okay.
different iterations of it.
Gotcha. We were both raised Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh wow, cool.
So I definitely feel you on that. Like very strongly ingrained, like had Christianity drilled into us from a very young age. And that left a bad taste in my mouth. I became like edgy hot topic kid. Like I wanted to just get
Same,
away from all that shit,
same. Of
common story, relatable, right?
course, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, you got to.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I worked
that's
at Hot Topic for a little bit
oh
as a
word.
teacher,
Nice.
so
Of
I
course.
really took it as far as I could. Yeah.
That's okay. Tell us about tell us about working at Hot Topic.
Honestly, it was pretty cool. I mean, I think when you're a teenager, that's like the place to work, right? Like it's
Yeah.
pretty dope. And yeah, I worked there for like 2 years, and got to like dress all spooky every day and piss off my parents, and it was pretty cool.
That's
The
what's
first
up.
time I really presented outside of my like gender assigned at birth was working at Hot Topic.
Oh,
Oh,
word.
that's what's up.
Yeah, so that was pretty. It's pretty cool when you're like 17, 18, and
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
know getting to wear like cool, like
That
slutty Hot Topic stuff.
that is really cool because that's like unheard of in like a profession, like in like the secular world.
Yeah, 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 and it's cool because I got like a really good discount too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Discount. So I spent like all my paycheck on just clothes that I would bought there. It was great. It was a good time.
I gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess so. Moving on, my next question. Um, I mean, first off, I'm a really big fan of your work.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I've been following y'all for a while. And
Well, it's all holograms. We're not even real.
I knew it.
Figure this out.
But no, I'm really glad you're here because I've wanted to ask you, like, not just you but the rest of the band too, like you guys, you're on that spooky shit. So have you ever had an experience you would consider supernatural?
I did when I was a kid,
Hmm.
um, and it's like a really distinct memory of mine. I was in bed and I saw like two people hovering over the bed that were older people. It was a man and a woman, and they were talking at me, and I didn't really know what like cuss words were. at the time, but I knew that they were saying like some really vile shit to me. Yeah, and I just remember them like being over my bed and feeling like very intimidated and very, very creeped out by them. And they had like a whole conversation with me. It was pretty wild.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Do you remember much about what y'all talked about?
No, I just remember that they felt very threatening, and it stuck with me now for 30 years. I still remember that experience.
Isn't it weird how something like something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't go away.
I meet old people in real life and I'm still scared of them. Old people are just scary in general.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's gonna be me.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly aware of my mortality. So okay, so what those entities, first of all, when we talk about stuff like this, none of us really know, right? Like when I was asking you about what happens when we die, no one on this planet knows what happens when we die.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when I ask you these things, it's perfectly acceptable to not have an answer because none of us really have a good answer. But if you had to guess what those entities were that you met, what do you think that was?
When I was a kid, I thought they were demons. And I don't know if I think that now, but I think that they definitely were malicious spirits, I think that, and I don't have any like spiritual grounding to say that there's like a history in this, but I think that like sometimes malicious spirits are very attracted to young people because I think that they're very emotionally vulnerable.
Yes.
So that's been my theory, is that they were just sort of like bad cosmic energy of some form that were just kind of hanging around and decided to pick on me that night.
Yeah. I mean, what kid doesn't have some kind of story of an imaginary friend or seeing something strange like that? Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, really, because children are malleable. They're easily manipulated. They're open-minded also. When we become adults, we put these rigid mindsets of like, oh no, aliens aren't real. God isn't real. I'm an atheist. Like, blah 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 blah. We set these like restrictions for ourselves on our understanding. But when you're a kid, like you're open-minded, you're still like learning shit. And I think like stuff like psychedelics and meditation, they get you back to that childlike, malleable learning mindset and allows you to be fucked with by spirits.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, children are definitely susceptible to that kind of shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So okay. So like religion and worship is a funny thing because like I think it's important for everyone to worship, but I don't think it's important for everyone to be like religious necessarily. Basically, what I'm saying is I think everyone should have an ideal that they like aspire to, or you could say worship.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't have to be like a literal worship. Like it could, like you could worship love, right? But I feel like everyone should have that like driving thing. And I was curious what that was for you. What are your ideals? What do you value?
It's really silly and it's kind of corny, but I used to tell people a lot that I was always kind of in search of the sense of wonder, which I think is a lot of the time why I gravitate towards journalism and working in that side of my life. I like the idea of discovering places and things and experiences that feel much bigger than myself. That's a really interesting feeling to chase. And I like asking big questions about that feeling as well. So that's always been kind of a thing that inspires me. And I think that's why I like music so much too. It's sort of the idea of, and it's why so much of our songs I think are so storytelling-esque and so world building, because I like putting myself in the middle of something that feels very big, where I can kind of live in a world that's a lot bigger than myself. So that's always been kind of a center root, I think, of the questions I ask in the world. As far as my spirituality, I would definitely say I'm a spiritual person. I'm not agnostic or anything like
Mhm.
that, which I think surprises some people that I'm not. I don't have a good answer for what I call my spirituality or what I worship, if that's the word we want to use.
Yeah,
But
it's not really a good word for it.
it's not a
Sorry.
good word. It's a very like sort of Abrahamic word,
Yeah.
but uh, in the modern sense. But I know that I'm actively like trying to engage with spiritual things
I
and
got you.
figure out what exactly the shape of that is.
I got you. So for me personally, um, I think I worship like knowledge and the free distribution of knowledge. I think all people should have access to knowledge freely.
Yeah.
So like my God is the serpent. It's Satan. He gave us the fruit. He handed it to us.
Are
And
you a theistic Satanist or a philosophical Satanist?
philosophically, I don't believe in it literally. But I worship and respect the idea of the devil.
That's fair.
And what he's done for us. And it's not just the devil. Like you can see this paralleled with other pantheons, like Prometheus. He's like he brings fire to people, and like he gets punished for it. Like he's not supposed to be helping people and like giving them knowledge. And neither was Satan. He wasn't like he broke the rules.
Yeah.
And like and there's like a punishment for that, but he did it anyway. And like that to me, like when I think about that, like I have a lot of, again, worship is not the right word because it does have that like very like you said Abrahamic kind of like old way about it. But yeah, I'm glad you knew what I meant.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. I don't know. I used to, this isn't a knock against you because I hear what you're saying. When I was younger, I think I was like very into calling myself a Satanist because it felt edgy, without really knowing the weight behind it. I'm totally not saying that's what you're doing at all.
And if you were, that'd be fair.
So I used to be very into like, I might be even a theistic Satanist, but that was so silly and sort of childish of me. But I get the appeal behind. Do you consider yourself a LaVeyan Satanist or?
You're not the first person to ask me that, and the answer is I don't know because I haven't looked into it. Basically, I know what Satan means to me, and I haven't really looked into what Satanism means for other people. Frankly, I don't care. Satan, I know what Satan means to me, and that's enough. I don't know. I guess that would be like more Luciferian than is that right? Than the other one. But I'm just not very familiar with it, to be honest with you.
Cool. I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot of tenets of nihilism and pursuit of self that I find interesting, and it's a cool, sort of philosophy and mindset to get into and explore yourself within.
Yeah. I definitely hear you about like it's edgy and cool to be a Satanist, but honestly, the values I see in Satan aren't being edgy and cool. It's being like the teacher, like being wisdom.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the way I enact that, like, because it's not enough to just say, oh, I value this. Like you have to act it. You have to do it also. So the way I do that is this kind of thing, like do the podcast, like talking about this kind of thing, I think is important because these are taboo subjects. People are uncomfortable talking about this shit, which is specifically why I talk about it.
Oh yeah. I think it's good to challenge, paradigms and stuff like that and talk about things that are difficult. There's so much surface level discussion about things going on right now. And I like digging into the hard subjects. So
yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're cool with that because some people will come on the show and it's like, dude, I thought you were going to ask me questions about my band.
No, I'm actually refreshed to be not talking about, not that I mind talking about the band, I enjoy it, but we've been on a lot of podcasts where people ask me the same 5 questions about the band over and over again.
Yeah, so. I feel you. So yeah, so I think uh like my goal, my motif is to enlighten myself, like expand my own knowledge, but also share what I know with other people.
Sure.
And there's like an urgency to it. Like I feel like we have to do this sooner rather than later because everything is coming to a head. Like in our lifetime, we're going to see some really crazy shit go down. And we really want to get ahead of it rather than behind it,
Yeah, yeah. I think that we've sort of begin to see that anyway, right? Like the world has kind of changed a lot, I think, even since we were kids, and the
Oh, for
idea of
sure.
what social normalcy has changed a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And in good way, yeah, in a lot of ways, good ways, honestly.
Yeah, in a lot of good ways too. I think that we're sort of in more ways than our previous generation. We've
Yeah,
challenged what social conventions are, and
we're definitely more open-minded for sure. Where it can be more. That's a catch-22 because we're also more divisive. It's weird.
yeah, I almost am not against being divisive. I understand that there's a common point of unity, but I'd much rather, like, at least now we know who the shitty people are and we
Yeah,
can kind of like not
yeah,
associate with them, as opposed to this sort
yeah.
of like we're all the Pepsi generation kind
It's
of
Yeah.
that
yeah.
feels very fake and corporate.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, and like everything being copacetic is kind of a pipe dream. Like ideally, you actually want competition and like not war. You don't want war, but you do want people butting heads and like conflicting ideas because that's how people grow. Like we combat like you learn more through discourse. Especially like even discourse that's uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've always been a person who believes that having discussion about things and exchanging worldviews and trying to get to the root of what everyone believes is better than ignoring that concept altogether and
Yeah.
avoiding it.
Yep. Okay. On a completely different note, um, where do you think? How do you think people came to be?
Ooh,
Because like we're just kind of here, right? And
kind of here.
there's a
Um,
bunch of different ideas.
I came from my mama.
well, if you're Fox Mulder and Dana Scully, you believe that life came from an asteroid that infected early bacteria on the planet, and it evolved into man. But that's the X-Files, which is my favorite show, by the way. I don't
Oh,
know if you know
nice.
that about me. I'm actually a really big X-Files fan. But I don't know. I tend to believe that I don't know if I believe in like an intelligent designer,
Mhm.
but I believe that there was definitely something that happened that made us, all come together in a way that it seems like it's very ordered and very, like there's an intent behind us being here. Is that aliens? Could be. Is that, a life force or some kind of being that's higher than us? Maybe. I don't know.
Do you think that matters?
I don't, because I don't think we're ever going to find out anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's almost like a really harmful way of thinking, in my opinion.
Mm.
It's like it's so reductive and so regressive to think about how we got here. I'd much rather think about like ways that we can,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
it seems like if you really buy into the whole transhumanism thing, that we're sort of going to be in charge of our own evolution as a species, it seems like it would be a lot more productive for us to think about where we're going instead.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, I hear you. Like, I guess I'm curious about it. That's why it's interesting to me. But there are more important things we could be talking about, like as a people.
Yeah, I think that I'm sure there are scientific reasons why we should really be looking into the origin of man and figuring out, our evolutionary history. I'm all for it. I just think that with the time I have on this earth and who I am, I don't really want to waste a lot of time being anxious about where we came from.
I hear you.
That's
Oh,
fair.
Well, I think it was aliens came down and mated with chimps, but that's just me.
here for it. Hope they enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, why not? There's also like the stoned ape idea. Like they just like ate mushrooms or something, got woke. No, I mean, then there's also like asteroid, like, yeah. I think that's probably the most accurate.
I think, probably it was like bacteria or a virus or something that was on an asteroid that came to Earth, and it spun from there,
Yeah. So where do you think we're headed? Like,
that's an interesting
it's kind
question.
of a vague question.
I'm really fascinated at the idea of transformation, like in the sense of all concepts of that as a means of talking about humanity and what is humanity, and can we define ourselves as things that aren't human if we choose to be? Where are the limits of how malleable is our identity? I think that if you're really forward thinking, we as a species, and maybe we as just who we are, I'm trying to figure out a way to say this doesn't sound totally hokey, sorry. I think that the idea of being human is something that isn't always going to be a thing that we necessarily prioritize as like beings that, I think that we have a right to be whoever we want to be or whatever we want to be. And I think that as our existence continues to spiral into years and decades and centuries ahead, we'll be less concerned about what form that takes, and have a lot more flexibility to sort of take whatever shape we want to take.
Yeah, it's like humanity realized that we've been putting ourselves in a box, and like we don't have to.
There's some really cool places and people and even foundations out there that really believe that humanity has a right to not even be human if we don't want to be, and I really like that idea.
What does that mean exactly?
What would that entail?
So the idea behind transhumanism, I think, and like post-humanism, is that eventually we would evolve to a place where technology would allow us to have our consciousness in like a machine or something if we wanted to, or be a different species, or be a different gender, or exist in some way that we completely we can't even wrap our brains around right now. The idea that we would be so in control of our evolution that we would set existence on our own terms. And that's what's really exciting to me about where we're going.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I've never heard that. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's kind of
post-humanism, transhumanism. It's the idea that we're going to basically take control of our evolution to the point that like the idea of staying human isn't even necessarily a confine that we would exist in anymore.
That's what's up. I definitely want to be in a robot. I want to be a robot so bad.
Yeah, I fucks with that idea.
Yeah, I mean, we're all laughing about it, but we're not that far away technologically from being able to, I mean, it sounds really hokey, but like upload someone's consciousness to a computer. And then once you can do that and they retain their complete personhood, that you pretty much, you've really like expanded the idea of what existence is by a whole lot.
That, it also raises like a really interesting philosophical question though. Like if we become, in that sense, like, okay, say you're able to upload your consciousness into some kind of terminal like that.
Yeah.
At that point, are you immortal? Like you're not going to leave this place. You're going to stay here. And at that point, you might be blocking yourself off from what's next.
Yeah, I mean, there's that argument too. And also, where do rights begin and end for someone that would have potentially, under normal circumstances, died 50 years ago, but now they're in a computer or something like that, are they still human?
Yeah.
It's interesting questions. Or, I mean, there's a lot of people, and I'm not, throwing my hat into this because it's controversial, but there's some people who believe that, that like species dysphoria is a thing, and that some people don't really want to be human. So like, if that's the case, what does that mean for, the future of existence, So.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's really all words. Like what we are is like, we try to define it, but we are just like you're kind of saying, we're just here. Like we define what we are. So.
Yep. And what's interesting, I think, about our generation is that we are asking big questions about what defines identity, right?
Yes.
We start to really consider identity to be malleable or not defined by what other people define it as, looking at us. Like it's a very much an inward thing now, which I think comparatively to generations past, it's always sort of been a societally defined idea of what identity is. And we're the first generation to really reclaim that idea and say, no, like the self defines identity. What will that mean, for the next 100 years? I don't know.
You familiar very much with Aleister Crowley?
Yeah, of course.
He he had, I don't think he invented this concept, but I heard about it through Crowley, where he talks about aeons and eras. And like at a certain point in time, if you look at the religions on the planet, it was very mother-centric and very earth-centric. And it's because they had, it's a very primitive society. That's not to say that religion was primitive, but like they didn't understand where life began. So like in their minds, women were just producing children. They didn't understand like the process exactly. So in their society, like the woman was a like this like godly divine figure because it creates the life. And then it's also a earth religion because once your mother weans you, the earth becomes your mother and nurtures you, takes care of you. And then at some point we see this shift into like the Abrahamic faiths where it's all of a sudden like male centric gods and it's son oriented. And I think it's actually more debased than the Gaia earth stuff. But basically the idea behind it is masculine seed. Life doesn't begin without the seed, and the earth doesn't have nutrients without the sun.
Right.
But what's really interesting, and this is why I brought it up, you're talking about now we're looking at things in a new era. And what that is we're not looking at God the Mother or God the Father. We're looking at God the children, God ourselves. We're looking at idol worship. Like we're understanding that we're the gods.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that there's sort of a new focus on I think of humanity to a certain extent. We've been so insecure for such a long time about trusting ourselves that I kind of like that we're getting to a point now where we're starting to really consider ourselves to be empowered. That's pretty exciting to me.
Well, yeah, religion sometimes has a way of making it seem as though we shouldn't trust ourselves.
It's almost like that's intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of religion, I'm not saying all, but certainly the Abrahamic religions to a certain extent
it's a giant fucking control machine. Like I'm going to say it.
I mean, I'll let you say it. I'm not sure I can say it, but like,
yeah, you don't have to go there. I'll go there.
I think that to a certain extent, there are some faiths, excuse me. There are some religious mechanisms that definitely are built in a way that is made to make you doubt yourself. And
that being said, I have I have a lot of deep respect for some ideas in Christianity. Like for example, Jesus, I don't have any problems with Jesus.
He was a revolutionary.
Yeah.
And a terrorist. He was pretty
No, for real, he fucked shit up.
A lot of people don't really, I mean, it's always interesting to see sort of the conservative Christian viewpoint of Jesus, right? Because he was kind of a radical.
Oh, yeah.
Hypercritical of the church. He hated the Pharisees.
Yeah.
They were like the ruling religious body of the time. And he hung out with sex workers.
Yeah. He could be found with drunkards and prostitutes. That was like his thing.
Partied it up.
And he flipped tables.
Yeah.
He flipped tables.
He flipped tables in the temple, which was like, that's like going to the Capitol building and like fucking shit. But that's a bad analogy. Don't do that. I realized when I was saying that's going to sound like I was supporting that.
RhetoricRabbitHole does not support the statement.
Those people, let's be really clear. Those people were fucking awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was a way more radical dude than
oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
portrayed
yeah.
as so mild-mannered all the time, but like that
Yeah.
wasn't the case. Like
Meek, mild-mannered white Jesus is the most bastardized version of Jesus. It's like, no, that's not Jesus.
Yeah, Christ lived a very radical anti-establishment life.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, you had to be real to follow him too. Like, he only wanted it if it was real. He didn't want like superficial followers and shit.
No, he never did. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for like Jesus. It's more of like the older traditions in the Bible that bother me. Like I don't have much good to say about Yahweh because he does a lot of fucked up shit that it's hard to defend. I mean, there are arguments for it, but
yeah.
most of them just come out to he's Yahweh, so he can do what he wants.
Right. It's kind of like we were talking earlier about like chieftain gods like Zeus, Odin. Like there's this idea across pantheons of like just like the fuck you king god.
Yeah.
And like I don't really like that guy.
Right.
No. Yep.
Oh yeah.
I have a neat little exercise we could do if you
I love it.
for it.
Let's do it.
Okay, this is gonna take a second to set up.
I'm ready.
Okay, so this is a kind of thing I just kind of thought of on my own. Can you look up the virtues? You know what I'm thinking of, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see that, Sarah?
Let me see. Yes, I can.
Okay, these are the 7 deadly sins.
Cool. I'm into all of them.
Being simple as we are, I would like you to rank these from 1 to 7 on which
Oh, this is easy.
is the best.
Oh yeah. As far as like which ones are the best?
Or like, I guess it's up to you how you want to rank it, but like,
Which ones you identify with more?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Or like which one's most delicious. I don't know, however you want to do it.
What's your sin?
what's my lust is probably my number one.
Yeah, buddy.
I thought that was coming.
And then pride, probably.
What was it?
Pride.
Yeah.
Another good one.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can be pretty vindictive, so probably wrath. Yeah. Then envy, gluttony, sloth, and greed.
Cool. And for the
Virtues. You got chastity, temperance,
okay,
charity, diligence, patience, kindness, and humility. Man, these all suck.
they all fucking suck. All right, so yeah, so which one of these do you value the most?
Kindness.
Yes, good one. Okay.
Probably humility.
Okay.
Diligence. Now it gets difficult.
Yeah. It's also introspective. Like, you gotta kind of think about it.
Charity. Not very patient. Temperance. And what's left? Oh, chastity. Well,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, chastity and abstinence are just like,
yeah, I've been in chastity before, but that's
that's different. Okay, this will work. No, almost.
we're really hyping this up.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Pressure's on if it's not exciting.
Oh, it's gonna be a total letdown.
No,
Felt to be disappointed.
it might be really stupid, actually.
Okay. I like stupid.
Okay. So now we're getting to the good stuff.
Love good stuff.
Now we're gonna rank candy.
Oh,
Because why not?
I got this. Yeah, no, this is.
All right. So Airheads. How do we feel about Airheads?
I'll give them a solid like 7 out of 10.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I can live with that. Chewy lemon heads. I don't think I've had these.
I've not had those.
Sound pretty good, but based off not experiencing them, I'm going to give them a 5.
Peppermints.
1.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
No doubt. Starburst, I'm not a fan.
7 out of 10 for me, but that's
I like Starburst.
No, I'll give them like a 6. I'm giving them 6.
I'll meet you at 6 because they're not.
Yeah, like they're not bad, but like if I can have something else, then you know.
Welch's fruit snacks.
Oh, those are the bomb. What you mean?
Give me a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if I can.
There's nothing like rolling up into somebody's house and eating all their kids' fruit snacks and
It's real.
drinking all their Capri Suns.
I think this is
Hershey.
dark chocolate Hershey.
Dark chocolate Hershey's.
Yeah.
6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay. Dum Dums.
1.
Aw. Can we give Dum Dums a 2?
No.
Okay, fine. Yeah, you're right. That's where it belongs. I don't
Is
even
that
know what the
popcorn?
fuck that is. This is a
It's
pile of
candy
ants.
corn. Candy corn, I think.
1. -1 if I can.
Yeah, candy corn
Candy
doesn't
corn
even go on the
sucks.
list. Fuck you, candy. Get out of here. Go down here. You're
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't even get to be on the
Don't
list.
get to play with the rest of the
Yeah.
kids.
Oh, real lemon heads. Like for me, this is a 10. What do you guys think?
It's like an 8 for me.
Yeah, I can be anywhere from that range.
What about can we compromise at 9?
I don't know because like they're not that good.
Okay,
They're not
I guess
that
it is.
good. Yeah, no, I give them they're right where they need to be at 8 in my
Okay.
opinion.
Fair enough. Baby Ruth. Weird.
Like a 2.
Yeah.
Milky Way.
Like a 3. Solid 3.
Y'all know what Copico is?
I've had Copico. It's like a 4.
It's like a what?
4.
Oh, okay.
Give it a 4.
4, okay.
Solid 4.
I don't know what that is.
Those are the push pops. The little like sour push pop.
You really know your candy.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm kind of a pro at this.
I got you.
Like a solid 5.
Okay. What is this? Oreos, like a single serving.
That is the British that is the what do they call it? It's the British candy, the British chocolate bar, and they've got Oreo filling in them.
Whoa.
They're pretty good.
You know
They're pretty good,
everything.
actually.
Oh, when you brought up candy, I was like, I got this. It's like a 3.
Okay. Gotcha. Is this Blow Pops?
Low pops 1.
Aw.
Yeah, no, they're gross.
Okay. You're right. That's the thing is I can't argue with you. You're not wrong.
Kit Kats are a 1. Or not a 1, but a 10.
Cats 2.
2. Wow.
Yeah, come on.
What'd you say?
I said a 10.
10?
I fucks with Kit Kats.
Go to hell. No,
They're really not that good though.
not that great.
No,
Yeah.
I eat them just for the novelty.
You're not gonna die on the Kit Kat hills, what you're saying?
No, I'm not dying on the Kit Kat Hill.
In Japan, they have a green tea Kit Kat, and it's
I've heard Japan has all kinds of crazy Kit Kats.
oh my god, it's so good.
Is it? That's cool. I would like to try some like exotic, different candy.
Yeah, it's killer.
Is this Twizzlers next? Twizzlers? Oh,
Oh, it's the sour Twizzlers.
that's a little bit better.
Like a 3.
Yeah.
The
Thank
texture
you.
of Twizzlers like really drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Unless they're pull and peel, those ones are banging.
They always taste bad.
What do you mean they always taste bad?
Like Twizzlers are boring as fuck.
Not the pull and peel ones.
Why? Because you can play
Because you
with
can
it?
pull and peel, Nick. Like, what do you mean?
Okay.
That's like a whole game.
Okay. Pocky is like.
Come on. Come on.
Okay.
He sucks.
Dang.
Oh, how dare you put Pocky at 1?
I thought you said one.
No, I'm giving it like a solid 9.
9. Okay. But they're also pretty boring though. They don't do a lot.
And they're
just there.
They're gone so fast.
If you're to me, it's like the texture, the taste, the experience. Pocky, you get what you come for.
That's fair.
Yep.
It's like an everyday candy. Like
Yeah.
you can just do that. Junior mints. I don't like mints in general.
It depends on the context. Movie theater,
Okay.
I'm giving it like a solid 6. If I'm just eating junior mints because I'm a communist, that's 3. So I am a communist, but 3 probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Crunch bars.
Oh, when I was a kid, I loved them. When I was an adult, I stopped liking them as much.
I feel like these ones hurt my teeth for some reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 2.
Yeah. Extreme Airhead. Was that?
Yeah, the bites.
Okay. I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
Nah. Nerds. Yay.
Nerds are disgusting.
What?
Solid 7 to me.
Yeah, no, you're
Oh.
wrong. It's definitely up here, at least 7.
They
Yeah.
taste like plastic.
No,
they give you
that's
a
not
headache.
true. They taste
I want
like magic.
Plastic, please.
Yay. Sour
Oh,
Patch.
10.
No, hold on. I do have to say some shit about Sour Patch Kids.
Okay.
All right, hit me.
Sour Patch is good at first.
First or second?
Like then they're sweet. But like the texture, once like you've gotten all like the like sour off of it, and it's just like the like gelatin
Are
little.
you just sucking the sour off of it?
Yeah, what are you doing? Are you not like just
Maybe
like,
I guess I've been eating Sour Patch Kids wrong, maybe.
You're supposed to chew them.
Yeah, no.
Oh, you don't just inhale it like
You don't just-
straight down your throat. Dang. All right, let's have to try it again sometime. So where are we giving Sour Patch Kids?
10 out of
10?
10.
What?
I will eat an entire 5-pound bag. 10 out of 10.
Sarah?
I'm gonna give it a 10.
Wow. I really disagree about this.
Well,
Good.
you're wrong, and you should
Okay.
feel bad.
Okay. Well, I'm not the resident candy expert, so I'm just going to take your word on it. Reese's.
Depends on the mood. Honestly, I've had like really satisfying experiences like having a Reese's, Yeah, but I think you have to be in like a really specific mood for it where you're like the only candy that's going to satisfy me is a Reese's peanut butter cup. But when you have it and you're in the mood for it, it's like the best thing in the world.
That's like almost not even a candy. It's like a dessert.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's so rich that like
Exactly. I think
it's
if
like
you're
eating
not
cheesecake.
for a Reese's, like if someone gives you a Reese's and you're not in the mood for it, it's like a 3. But like if you're in
Yeah.
the mood for it, it's like a 10.
Yeah. I could do 10.
I would give it a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ring pops.
Too
It's
much-
campy.
too much-
It's like gimmicky.
Yeah, no, I don't want to. No, the execution of it is.
Eh.
Yeah.
Looks like we got some more weird looking Kit Kats next.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to cookie dough bites.
Nah.
No?
No.
Okay. Fair enough.
Dunkaroos? Is that what those are?
I don't
Dunkaroos.
know, I can't read it. The next one I note and recognize is Jawbreakers.
No. That's an execution thing. I don't want to have this like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it to break my jaw, actually. I prefer candy that doesn't break my jaw. Lifesavers have never saved anyone's life. That
No.
is false advertising.
One.
Yeah. Right? No, it's one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where it's going. It feels right.
We're not even putting the 0 bar up there because it's in the name. They already defined it for us.
I don't zero.
I would zero it.
Yeah. It remains off the list.
It's not very good. Yeah, I thought I would like it because it's kind of like a underground candy bar. It's like more like the not mainstream ones, but it's not very good.
I kind of underestimated how long this list is.
It's a very long list.
There's a lot of fucking candy in here, so let's just pick the highlights.
Highlights.
Okay, sour, okay, gummy worms. Yeah,
Gummy, yeah.
That's a 10.
That's 10.
10.
Yeah.
I fuck with Skittles, especially sour Skittles.
Sour Skittles I fuck with any day of the week.
Yeah, where are those at?
Ooh. I don't see.
They got all the other Skittles.
Yeah. Oh, sour punch straws. You got to put that at like number 11. Like I will eat those all day.
Sour punch straws.
Right above you. Go up. You go to your right. Go down. You're going all around it. Go to your left. There you are.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I've seen these. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Those are awesome.
We're creating a new tier for straws.
Yeah, for sure. Those are like the best things in the world. That's like God tier.
Word.
Yeah.
Try those. I've seen them, but I don't think I've ever had those.
They're good.
Peanut M&Ms. I like.
You can go to hell with your peanut M&Ms.
What?
I don't fuck with peanut M&Ms.
I do not fuck with peanut M&Ms.
I guess
M&Ms.
I'm starting to understand that I have really plebeian, shitty tasting candy.
Yeah, I'm judging you now.
Yeah, I'm judging me. What is this? Jolly Ranchers?
Oh, the flavored Jolly, the flavored Tootsie Rolls, the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls.
Weird.
Yeah, they're not good, but I always would get them in Halloween. No, they're shitty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Snickers?
If you have to.
Yeah.
It's like a solid like 5.
That would have been God tier.
It's God tier?
Because you're not. Yeah.
What?
Bitch, eat your Snickers. What you mean?
I don't.
It's a whole ass thing.
A Snickers is a fucking meal. That's like a commitment.
I know. That's the point. That's why it's God tier.
It's like a 5 to me. Like it's kind of like if you're gonna have it, you're gonna have it.
Yeah. Sarah's right. It's a 5. Okay, there's the Jolly Ranchers. Jolly Ranchers, that's like a 10, right?
I give it like a 9.
9? Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of a commitment too, right? Like you have a Jolly Rancher, like you're having a Jolly Rancher for a solid like 10 minutes,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it doesn't go away. That's also part of the appeal, right? Like you got candy for a while.
I'm impatient with it. I like having my candy experience and then having the option to go to another candy experience.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I like to get it over with so I can maybe go do something else. And I can taste something else.
Fair enough. Okay, Twix.
That's like a solid 6, right? You can't really go wrong with the Twix, right?
It's very neutral for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hershey's Kiss. Iconic.
I mean, yeah, that's like a,
What, like an 8 maybe?
I give it an 8, yeah.
Yeah.
They fly real well in slingshots. I know that much.
Haribo gummy worms?
Oh
yeah, I gotta give that like a 9.
Yeah, right. That's a classic.
Pull and peel Twizzlers. Do it. Anywhere at 5 or above. I will give you 5 or above.
Twizzlers suck, dude.
I love pull and peel Twizzlers. It's my favorite candy.
Why they
so much?
Yeah, they suck. They don't taste good.
Oh, good. What do you mean?
Nah, dude. Like
Regular Twizzlers suck.
I'll give
Strawberry Twizzlers.
The only
suck.
reason I'm not putting Twizzler in one right now is because you can use it as a bludgeon. You could kill someone with a Twizzler.
They're so soft. Pull and peel Twizzlers are so soft. You can't. Hit
I guess we're
somebody
talking
with it.
about the different kind of Twizzler. Then.
Yeah, the normal ones that are like you don't pull apart are like hard and like you can smack somebody with them. They're gross. They taste like shit.
Okay, I guess I'm misunderstanding you then. I'm thinking of a different kind of Twizzler.
The pull and peels are like, yeah, they're the ones that they come off in the long strings and they're normally cherry flavored, not strawberry. That's the thing. The strawberry Twizzlers suck. Cherry, however.
Sarah, do you know more about these pull apart Twizzlers than I do?
No.
All right. Well, since
I'm gonna give him a 5.
yeah, like
I'll take 5.
You'll take 5?
I'll take
okay.
5.
You know, 5 is a compromise because like I hate them, you love them.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good.
So like a 5, you know?
Candy corn. Let's just go ahead and put that into 1 tier.
Yeah. Gross.
Mm,
You know, I'm gonna make an unpopular call here. Dots.
oh,
I'd give them a solid 9.
I'm not really eating enough dots to know.
I think they're dope.
Texture's weird on this one, but flavor's good enough that I could give this like an 8 or 9.
I'll give it. If you want to give it an 8, that's okay.
Okay, yeah,
Give it
I think that's fair.
What does it feel like? Is it like a gummy?
I kind of have the same problem with like the dots that I do with like the Sour Patch Kids, where it's like just too sticky and like gooey.
Oh, okay. I get you.
It doesn't have good mouthfeel. And then we got
good list here. Like I feel like we've like really kind of accomplished a good like
yeah
line for candy at this
Yeah.
point.
No, I mean if it's not on the list, then it just doesn't matter. We covered all the ones that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, we crushed it.
Hell yes. Yeah, I think we crushed this podcast in general.
Thank you all for having me on it. I enjoyed speaking with you.
Hell yeah. It's been a real pleasure. I also think not in like some delusion of grandeur kind of way, but I think this kind of thing is important. Not like, oh, like what I'm doing is important, but like talking is important. Communication, discourse, you know?
No, I agree. And it's really nice to speak on a podcast that isn't going to just ask me gender theory questions for an hour and a half. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
I'm not a typical podcast host. Yeah.
We'll get that on a podcast in a minute. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Alice, if you want to see what Sarah Rose has going on, Sarah and the Safe Word is based out of Atlanta, or would you call it? I mean, you guys are so regional at this point that you're based out of Atlanta, but
based out of Atlanta, but we're we tour a lot now. So, but most of us are based out of Atlanta.
Alice, go check out what they've got going on. Links in the description below.